Perfect World Episode 225. Willow Deity makes a comeback, and the defeated Mo Dao willingly becomes number 10's servant. However, who would have thought that the three-headed king from the foreign realm, upon seeing his own prodigy turn into an enemy, would immediately want to eliminate the traitor, Mo Dao. But having just gained a new follower, how could number 10 stand by and watch him get bullied? Number 10 directly went to war with the three-headed king and in the end, dominantly slayed his opponent. Without further ado, let's quickly break down Perfect World, Episode 225. Previously, number 10 had just subdued Mo Dao. But when the group from the foreign realm saw their own prodigy betray them, they wanted to eliminate Mo Dao on the spot to prevent him from becoming a bigger problem later. The first to act was the three-headed king from the foreign realm. The moment he spoke, he sarcastically said to number 10, "I like bugs with strong physical bodies. They're chewy when you eat them.
Too bad you only have 2 strands of immortal energy."
Not quite enough. Number 10 retorted with a cold laugh, "You 8-legged demon, you still call yourself noble? Aren't you ashamed?" But the three-headed king paid number 10 no mind, saying coldly and arrogantly, "We are the true supreme race. The beings of the 9 heavens and 10 earths are mere insects." In this tense atmosphere, the three-headed king's spider legs suddenly erupted like bristling hair, stabbing straight at number 10. Number 10 dodged nimbly and clashed his fists against the spider legs. In their initial exchange, neither side gained an advantage. On the surface, the three-headed king was contemptuous, but he was actually warily observing the entire field, ready to deal with any other prodigies with 3 strands of immortal energy who might ambush him. The scene shifts as he coldly targets Mo Dao, clearly not allowing anyone to betray the other shore. He wanted to kill Mo Dao directly to eliminate the threat completely. In the next moment, the three-headed king suddenly shot out spider silk, aiming to entangle and kill Mo Dao. Number 10 tried to intervene, but several men in black from the foreign realm emerged to attack. Facing them, number 10 didn't hesitate, he obliterated one with a single punch. After violently clearing the way, he charged at the three-headed king's back. The three-headed king was extremely cautious. A spider web appeared in the air, blocking number 10's sneak attack. At the same time, his main body's 3 heads erupted madly, releasing countless beams of light like celestial swords. He joined forces with another prodigy with 3 strands of immortal energy to relentlessly attack Mo Dao. At the critical moment, top prodigies like Wang Shi and Xian Kuan stepped in to help. Wang Shi's great Dao flower danced, and Xian Kuan's light beams shot across the sky. The chaotic battle of heroes officially erupted, and the entire battlefield plunged into a top-tier chaotic melee. Number 10 charged forward amidst the chaos, once again clashing head-on with the three-headed king. He directly taunted, "Three-headed spider, come and die." His opponent was furious. He immediately turned and invoked the passage of time, directly unleashing a temporal divine ability.
Fragment of time scattered, distorting space.
Number 10's heart skipped a beat. He immediately felt the pressure. This guy wasn't just physically monstrous, he had actually mastered the power of time. Moreover, the three-headed king sneered, "This is a supreme precious art I stole from your realm. It's more than enough to deal with you." The three-headed king unleashed his temporal divine ability. Time was like a blade, years like a rainbow. In an instant, it was as if 500 years had passed, enough to turn even a void divine temple to dust. Number 10 wasn't flustered. He actually countered with the laws of time, clashing with the temporal power. Outsiders only saw a flash of shining light, and then everything returned to calm. For the first time, the three-headed king took number 10 seriously. His tone was unusually solemn. "Interesting. Again." This time, he opened his mouth and blew, and a grey astral wind swept across the world. Before number 10 could act, Mo Dao had already filled the sky with flames. A red lotus burned, easing the pressure on number 10. A fierce brawl broke out, but the three-headed king reacted extremely quickly. The astral wind changed direction, clashing violently with Mo Dao's precious art.
Across the battlefield, all the heroes fought with bloodshot eyes as flesh and blood flew everywhere.
Even Wang Shi and Yao, you were severely injured. For a moment, the world was filled with slaughter, as brutal as a meat grinder. Amidst this chaos, number 10 and the three-headed king charged deep into the mountain range. Mo Dao watched from the side, stunned. It turned out number 10 had been hiding his 3 strands of immortal energy. Now, unleashing his full power, he transformed into a humanoid barbaric dragon. His first move was to use the willow deity's golden divine chains, which pierced bloody holes in the three-headed king's body. The three-headed king barely had time to react. He had thought he could crush him easily, but ended up nearly being killed in one hit. His face turned ashen, his composure completely shattered. The enraged three-headed king spat out his innate great web, frantically trying to trap number 10. He even shouted, "The web of heaven is vast, it misses nothing."
Number 10 looked in danger.
He directly pierced the spider web with the golden willow branches, launching an explosive counterattack. The three-headed king instantly recognized it. "This is the technique of the ancestral sacrificial spirit, the willow deity," he exclaimed, utterly panicked. The three-headed king desperately used his 10,000 spider demonic art, his 8 legs painting a river of stars. Number 10 powerfully countered with the 6 paths of reincarnation ancient heavenly palace, suppressing him on the spot.
The two clashed so hard the void cracked open.
Mo Dao, watching from the side, was completely convinced. Only now did he understand that number 10 wasn't just a body cultivator, but an ultimate genius who had mastered forbidden precious arts. He fought until his eyes were red and forcibly tore off one of the three-headed king's spider legs. However, number 10's arms were also pierced by spider bristles, and he was severely poisoned. The three-headed king regenerated his severed limb. Meanwhile, SHI HAO forcibly used his primal true records divine fire and ancient runes to force out the poison, regenerating his flesh. Neither of them were ordinary people, their fight had become a divine brawl. The three-headed king went berserk with rage. He arrogantly taunted, "You insects with your filthy bloodlines, why don't you kneel when you see me?" Number 10 shot back, "You should replace your spider head with a dog's head, so you can stop barking senselessly." The tension was palpable, neither would give an inch. Next, the three-headed king used his ultimate technique, the 10,000 spider demonic art. His 6 spider legs moved like arms, forming seals as divine light erupted, fusing various precious arts into what could be called a world-ending ultimate move. Number 10 remained calm and countered with the 6 paths of reincarnation ancient heavenly palace. The roar was like the sky and earth collapsing as the two ancient forbidden arts clashed head-on in a fateful collision that shattered mountains and split the earth. Ghosts wailed and gods howled. At that moment, another young supreme being with 3 strands of immortal energy ambushed number 10. Number 10 took the hit head-on, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth as he was nearly injured. Fortunately, Mo Dao intercepted the attacker in time. The three-headed king took advantage of the chaos to unleash the lion's roar, an ancient divine ability where sound waves formed a dragon, shattering mountains and rivers. Everyone was staggered by the blast. Number 10's soul heavenly passage protected him, withstanding the impact. Enduring the poison, he refused to retreat, determined to kill the three-headed king. What followed was the most ferocious exchange. Number 10 directly activated his magic immunity. Despite being pierced by spider bristles, he clashed physically with the three-headed king, unleashing the Kuan Peng fist technique. He fused the essence of the Kuan Peng into his ultimate path and punched right through the three-headed king's body. Blood gushed out like a waterfall. The three-headed king roared in fury. The lion head on his left unleashed the fearless lion art, condensing into a giant lion that swooped down.
Number 10 made donc, not backing down.
He once again transformed into a giant Kuan Peng silhouette and clashed with the giant lion. The two ultimate techniques exploded on impact. In the end, the Kuan Peng dived through its body, and the three-headed king's fearless lion was forcefully shattered. In this battle, number 10 truly achieved breaking all techniques with pure strength, a display of ultimate prowess. With the fearless lion art defeated, the three-headed king was left with only 2 heads, roaring bloodily in the void. The atmosphere was extremely tense. He was filled with rage and hatred, vowing to send number 10 to hell. He shot out all his spider bristles like steel needles across the field. Number 10's soul heavenly passage protection was completely overwhelmed, and he was sent flying by the blast. But number 10's tone was still arrogant. He furiously provoked the three-headed king, "You've lost your lion head. Why not replace it with a dog's head?" This was the ultimate provocation. The three-headed king said no more. 3 flowers of the great Tao flew out to suppress him, while he himself charged forward in a frenzied attack. Their most powerful collision erupted. As number 10 fought, he felt something was wrong. The three-headed king's divine power seemed inexhaustible, constantly replenishing itself. Not only were his three flowers formidable, but his physical body was also absorbing the essence of heaven and earth, making him seemingly unkillable. Just as number 10 became wary, the three-headed king suddenly erupted. "Didn't you want to see my Tao techniques?
Now, you'll open your eyes."
The variegated colors on his body instantly detached, transforming into 5 colored divine runes. These runes directly covered number 10, intending to refine his physical body and Tao essence, nearly annihilating him. These 5 colored divine runes were his innate divine ability, a terrifying racial talent from the nightmare epoch of the last era that could completely melt and destroy enemies. Number 10 was forced to activate his soul heavenly passage to resist, but he still felt immense pressure as the 5 colored divine runes nearly refined him. Only an ultimate body cultivator like him could withstand it. At this moment, the three-headed king saw the truth and was shocked. The fused heavenly passage. You actually merged 10 heavenly passages into one and cultivated the legendary soul heavenly passage. According to his clan's ancient records, this technique was only theoretical. No one had ever succeeded in cultivating it. If truly achieved, it would be immune to all techniques and repel all evil. The three-headed king felt an instinctive fear and unease. But number 10, under this extreme pressure, instead achieved an epiphany. On his soul heavenly passage, he inscribed various runes from the primal true record, the Kuan Peng art, the lightning emperor art, and others, fusing them all into the passage's walls. His entire aura surged as both the defense and attack power of his heavenly passage increased. The three-headed king bombarded him frantically. His 10,000 spider demonic art erupted in full, and various peerless precious arts were unleashed. The 5-colored divine power grew even stronger, attempting to completely obliterate number 10. But number 10, protected by his soul heavenly passage, formed a bow with his hands. The runes on the passage's wall, like divine chains, wrapped around his arms as he pummeled the three-headed king. After dozens, even hundreds, of explosive exchanges, the three-headed king's physical body was blown apart, and a mist of blood filled the air. His last remaining head attempted to revive, but as soon as it appeared, number 10, as fast as lightning, shattered it again with a single punch. The three-headed king died with his eyes open, his resentful spirit raging. How could you do this? Thus, the three-headed king, an expert from the nightmare epoch, fell, utterly defeated by number 10. Life and death became void, leaving only the entire field in shock. Number 10 had killed the three-headed king with one punch. A rain of blood splashed down as the peerless, dozens of meters tall fiend fell on the spot. The three-headed king's remnant soul wailed and cursed, unwilling to accept its fate. The scene was like the advent of a devil lord. Even Mo Dao was stunned. A youth younger than him stood amidst the blood-colored stone mountain with a heaven-shaking divine light, like a reincarnated devil god. The entire mountain range had been flattened, and the world was filled with a deathly silence. The youth stood alone amidst the ruins, his aura overwhelming. Meanwhile, the foreign realm supreme being fighting Mo Dao, seeing the three-headed king get annihilated, immediately fled without daring to react. He didn't dare to get entangled with number 10 in the slightest. Number 10 activated his Kuan Peng wings, turning into yin-yang energy and chasing fiercely at extreme speed. But his opponent severed his own origin, burning his essence, qi, and spirit to forcibly activate an ancient formation to escape. He was lucky to survive. Number 10 was displeased but didn't want to recklessly expend his vital energy. At this moment, his soul heavenly passage cracked, and blood trickled from his mouth. His self-healing wasn't quite there yet. In truth, he had forcibly evolved it during the Great Battle, and the soul heavenly passage was one step away from perfection. After cleaning up, only a severed leg was left on the battlefield, as the three-headed king's body had been blasted into smithereens. Number 10 could only drag this spider leg back to the main battlefield. A figure appeared on the horizon. Carrying a 20 to 30 meter long spider leg, he walked step by step. The atmosphere instantly froze. Everyone was dumbfounded. That was, without a doubt, the three-headed king's leg. The three-headed king, who had just been dominating the entire field, was now being dragged back like a war trophy by this youth. The entire place was deathly silent. Whether it was the Celestial Deity Academy or the Foreign Realm cultivators, all eyes were fixed on number 10. He had actually slain the three-headed king. He was a nightmare-level being, an ultimate king, to be killed by a young body cultivator. Wang Shi, Yao Yu, Lu Tuo, Shen Kuan, all his companions were stunned. They simply couldn't believe it. This was the person they usually joked about, the one who seemed so ordinary. The foreign realm beings erupted into an uproar. Some shouted for revenge, but no one dared to actually attack the youth who had killed the three-headed king. Who would dare act rashly now?